It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and thanks for tuning in yet again to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business become show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, a variety show of different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what is going on with the Tampa Bay and surrounding communities. So I invite you to tune in each and every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Take a break from all the political news and sports talk that dominates the airwaves each and every morning with what is going on with the Tampa Bay and the surrounding communities. As always, take a moment to check out my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, all shows available on demand via the show info tab. Also, you can check out all the local real estate listings too, as I specialize in the sale of bank-owned properties, and I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker. And you can also see all of my properties prior to hitting the market over there via the pre-list properties tab, again on the homepage of tampabayradio.com. Also, the show is always looking for guests and partners, and so if you have any interest in getting on the airwaves, please send me a message. Best way to get me, contact form, tampabayradio.com. Let me know what it is that you're doing, why you'd like to be a part of the show. And there is no charge to come in here as a guest one time, so please don't let that stop you. More and more people are contacting me each and every day, getting more comfortable with the show and the flow of the show and what it's all about. And people in the business community, everybody seems to know who I am, and so you get associated with the show. People are going to start to know who you are as well. So contact me, Jamie at tampabayradio.com is my email, or again, you can just use the contact form at tampabayradio.com. Also, please connect with me in social media sites. I am all over social media, facebook.com/thatbusinessshow. Also, Twitter under the name Jamie_Maloney. All shows streamed live in studio as well. Click on the watch live stream button on Tampa Bay Radio, and you can see the stream live here in studio. And you'll see some stuff thrown up there on the stream that you won't obviously see if you're just listening to me on the airwaves. As always, got a full house packed in here today, so got a great show planned for today. On the second half of the show, we'll be talking with Kevin Overstreet and Bobby Callahan of Insured Title Agency. So a lot of changes coming up within the title business, so it'll be a good discussion on real estate and what you need to know with regard to changes coming up in the title insurance industry. But up first, Ashley.novak and Christina.sloan are managing partners with Proudly Florida. Proudly Florida is the umbrella brand dedicated to showcasing industries around the state of Florida and is part of the global organization Global Village, whose mission is to promote the best of every country, city, and region. Ashley and Christina work with local agencies and organizations to promote the area for tourism, travel, and business. Ashley and Christina, welcome to the show today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So, Christina, I'll start with you. Tell me, what is Proudly Florida in more detail?
Proudly Florida is an organization dedicated to showcasing the best in the state of Florida. We select cities around the state and showcase them in terms of tourism, lifestyle, and business, working with local organizations like the chambers and tourism companies to bring those business and showcase them to our global platform that we have. Okay, so this is part of a global brand. So Proudly Florida kind of sits under this whole global initiative, right? That's correct. We have our brand. We have within the Global Village, we have Proudly Arabian, Proudly Europe, Proudly Canada, and that's our global brand, and we showcase all the Proudlys around the world. So okay, now tell me how this initiative came about. What's the history of this brand? The initiative, Proudly Florida, started a few months ago. We had been working on showcasing the best of the world in other regions. Back in 2009, we did a feature in Washington, D.C., and the book was a success. However, we realized that the economy in the U.S. was not strong enough, so we pulled away from the U.S. market and concentrated our efforts in other regions of the world, including Europe and the Middle East and Africa, which is one of our largest regions. And then, since then, we've successfully showcased over 50 cities and countries around the world. Okay. Ashley, let me come over to you. Tell me, how do you involve, or how do you find out about the different things within the community? Is it something that just catches your eye or ear, or do people come to you and say, hey, we'd like to be promoted with, within Global Village or Proudly Florida? How do the different stories and businesses and tourism sites come about to you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So we do have a market research team that comes down and surveys the area and and looks to see what's promoting business growth and what's bringing money into the city. But a lot of it is through invitation only and word of mouth also, referral bases through different companies or organizations that we're working with. So we really just look for what's exciting and new in the area, what is coming up and the different scenes and interests of the city. And then we work with them to showcase them within our publication.
Okay, and you promote or you get the message out through the Best of Books series, right? You brought in one of these books here, which is a very, very detailed, large book, a lot of pictures, a lot of detail in it, and you got the one Best of Paris. And so, but what are the other ways you disseminate the message of, Proudly Florida or Global Village in addition to these Best of Books series?
So we do it through the Best of Books, and then we also, make sure we distribute it and cross-distribute with our national and global partners. So they're featured in our book, and then with that, we also have, social media platforms and just connecting and working with different organizations in the community.
Okay, so what's you're working on the Tampa Bay one right now, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. How long is this going to take to put together? I mean, obviously, I'm looking at this book here, Best of Paris. I mean, that looks like quite a production right there. How long is this taking to put together?
Well, we started, back in May, the initial stages of production, but we're looking to launch the book in February of 2016. So a large part of it does go to printing and the publication and design of it all. So we're looking, around December to close out the book, and then we'll go into the production stages. But hopefully we'll launch in February of 2016 is what we're scheduled for.
Okay, so what is it about Tampa? What's going on in Tampa that we're going to see in the Best of Book or Best of Tampa or Tampa Bay, however you're going to title it? Tell me about what's got you excited in Tampa Bay.
Well, gosh, what isn't going on in Tampa Bay right now? It's really exciting for us. Me and Christina are both local and from here, and it's what we consider our home. So we're super excited about all the changes, all the growth, all the plans. I mean, I think Vinnick is a name everyone in Tampa.
Jeff Vinnick, the developer in charge, or who now owns pretty much all channel side down that area. So, but yes, a lot of talk. I mentioned him on my show a number of times. So go ahead.
Yeah. So with his plans, I think it's a 5 and 10-year plan for the city, and everything, all the construction that's happening. There's a huge local craft beer scene, a lot of local restaurants, farm to table. There's great art scenes. I think it's a great city, Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater all included, to really showcase what we have to offer here in Florida and in Tampa Bay. So with Gasparilla, all the music festivals, the film festivals, I think there is just so much in our culture here that we wanted to showcase and show the world and globally, to say, why come here? Why visit here? Why do business here? Why live here? And we're just really excited to be able to show that within our publication.
Christina, what's got you excited about Tampa Bay? I mean, what are some of the projects that you're working to highlight on in the Best of Tampa series?
Well, we're very excited about Tampa. Tampa has been under-marketed. I mean, we go around the world and people ask us, oh, where are you from? And we say Florida. And people say, oh, Miami? No, Tampa. Orlando. Tampa. So I think it's time that we put Tampa where it needs to be in the map and to showcase all the opportunity that and the growth that's happening here right now. We are very excited about, just to give you an example, we're dedicating a whole chapter in the publication to all the technology companies that are growing here in Tampa Bay that are homebrewed here. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at Priatech and SavvyCard and a lot of other organizations that are really paving, and they have really very unique products that it's worth showcasing in the publication. That's what gets us very excited to see all the potential and the growth that's coming right from our city. Yeah,
you just mentioned 2 brands, Priatech, SavvyCard.
Yes.
Both those gentlemen, owners of the company, have been highlighted on my show. One thing that's got me excited about Tampa is there's just so much entrepreneurism going on in the area, and that's what this show is all about. The entrepreneurial spirit, highlighting the successes and what people are doing in and around the community. And so I imagine that's going to be a large part of the book, is just what's going on, all the startups and all the initiatives taking place in the Bay Area. Am I correct?
The publication, it's a business publication. That's what we do. We showcase businesses that identify and define the city, as well as all the entrepreneurs that are being started here in the city of Tampa. The way we do our publication, it's a business publication. Nobody really wants to read just about business, so we make it sexy and fun by adding tourism and lifestyle to it. So when people flip through the pages, they see very colorful images, and it becomes a presentation card, a business card for all this publications businesses in the area to be able to pass on to their clients and investors.
Now, how do you all divide your roles? Are you in charge of tourism and she's in charge of business? Are y'all kind of just getting out there and meeting people and finding out what's exciting in the city and putting it into the book? I mean, how are you dividing your roles?
Right now, it's a team effort. So we do, Christina tends to take on a little bit more of the financial and business side of things, where I take on a little bit more of the design and production. But overall, we're hand in hand and, doing everything together. And, we divide and conquer, I think, like most business partners would. But essentially, we've both had a hand in everything up to this point. And we've worked together in different jobs as well. So we're doing well, and our system works.
Talk to me about partnerships and for your book and your initiative. I mean, how can people get involved and help you with this project?
Well, right now we're just looking to help get into the communities more and learn and be introduced to different companies. We are still looking for chapter sponsors and book sponsors. We've worked with different local organizations. We're currently working with Visit Tampa Bay, St. Pete Chamber, the Ybor Chamber of Commerce, a lot of local organizations to help sponsor businesses. And like Christina mentioned, some of the startups in the area that might not necessarily, have it to go in and on their own. So we're looking for different sponsors that, want to help invest in the city and promote our city and work with us in this goal that we're trying to get the word of Tampa Bay out to the nation.
Okay, so you're looking for material, you're looking for content, you're looking for sponsors. What's the best way that people that are interested in getting in this book and getting their initiative or their business or who they are out to the community, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can contact us with our direct emails. I think those are up there. They can also go to our global site, www.globalvillage.world, and we have contact information on there. Even for people outside of the state, we're quickly expanding and growing, not only in Florida, but we have some partners even starting in different areas of the U.S. So they can always go to our global site and get our contact information there as well and email us, and we'll get back to them, as quickly as we can, because we'd love to work with.
Okay, globalvillage.world, was it, right? Globalvillage.world. And I'll put the emails up on my show recap, which can be found over at tampabayradio.com after the show. Got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more with Ashley.novak and Christina.sloan, managing partners with Proudly Florida, part of the Global Initiative, Global Village, and learn more about them at globalvillage.world. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at tampabayradio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727 347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Very slow traffic on westbound I-4 now from around 50th Street to the Selma Connector. Crash there in the left-hand lane. Southbound 275, very slow from Fletcher Avenue to just past Fowler. There was a crash off to the right. That now out of your way. And southbound into downtown Tampa, of course, very slow. Southbound Veterans Expressway, very slow from Ehrlich to Waters. And a crash in Pasco County, Little Road at Trinity. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Today, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, some of them heavy, a high 91. Tonight, clearing, low 76. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance, high 92.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, you'll find this show on here weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And as always, learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please follow me on all the different social networking sites to keep up to date with all the show proceedings and who's coming in each and every morning. Great source of that, Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also on Twitter under the name Jamie_Maloney for all of the show updates. Currently talk with Ashley.novak and Christina.sloan, managing partners with Proudly Florida. Again, this is an umbrella brand that's associated with the global initiative, Global Village, and you can learn more about this organization at globalvillage.world. And Christine, I want to come back over to you. This Best of Books series that we're talking about in the last segment, which is how you're getting this message out, what you're doing to kind of consolidate all the information and the tourism and the different businesses. But this Best of series, the Tampa Bay series, is going to be the first book in the United States, correct?
That's correct.
So tell me more about this one.
As we re-enter the U.S. market, we chose Tampa to be the flagship book for the U.S. So we're looking at our largest cross-distribution so far. So that's one of the things that gets us very excited about this publication. Not only for U.S. territories, as we're working in Colorado and L.A. and even New Orleans, but also geography-wise, we're so close in relationship to Latin America that we have all our partners in Latin America, including Peru, Colombia, and even the Caribbean, looking at Tampa for that guidance on how this publication is going to come about. We're making the Tampa book very unique and very special, so that's going to set the pace
so this initiative started 10 years ago in Dubai, South Africa, and now 10 years later, you haven't done anything, or the organization hasn't been involved in the United States. So this is sort of the last piece of the puzzle, the puzzle, not the puzzle. What did I say there? So the puzzle, so to speak. So, but you said Tampa was chosen as the flagship community for the United States. Yes. What is it about Tampa? Why was the attention focused on Tampa?
We really wanted to bring this project that we're so passionate about to our hometown. We're both local. We both relocated here, different timelines to go to the University of Tampa, and we made Tampa our home. So it just made sense for us to take something that we love, which is this publication, and combine it with the city that we love and create this perfect love story that allows for us to showcase all the great things that Tampa has to offer in every single aspect, and all the potential and all the growth that's coming to the city.
And you have obviously you're from Puerto Rico, right?
Yes,
and so
am.
it's very important that we have a strong relationship between the United States and the Latin American territories and things like that. How is this book going to work to tie the different not Mediterranean, the different what's the word I'm looking for? Those islands down there, I should say, to tie those together. How's that going to tie together?
Well, what we're looking for is, Florida is a state that does so much business when it comes to in different aspects. Throughout the years, we've showcased 55 different industries, whether it's real estate, technology, medicine. There's so many industries that we're looking at showcasing for the whole state of Florida. And when you look at that proximity that we have and the relationship to South and Central America, that it just made sense for us to start reaching that gap and connecting like minds who want to invest in each other or even exchange ideas. And it's the same things that we're doing with some of the companies here in Tampa. So we have connections in Dubai. So we just recently met with one of our partners here and we're saying, hey, what if we took this product to Dubai because it would be a success? So when you start breaching that gap, then now you know that you're really promoting all the growth that Tampa has.
What are some of the areas in Tampa that or in the region that you're still looking to get more information on? Do you have the business markets covered pretty good? Do you have the tourism markets covered pretty good? Where can people in the community help this brand develop more so?
Really, any niche that they have that they think would be worth exploring. The great thing about our book is that it's so open. It's not limited to just a certain type of industry or business. We really want to showcase everything that our city has to offer. So with that being said, if it exists in the city, we want to showcase it. If it has a strong presence in Tampa Bay, we want to make sure we highlight it. And it's great with our books. We don't just, write a summary and show some images of the business. We tell the story. We like to tell the history behind it. Who are the owners? How did they start it? The history there and their success stories throughout the years. So it's a really unique and great opportunity to be able to not only promote and highlight the success of an individual business, but also then in turn highlighting that industry and the city as a whole.
Now, how many different best of books are there out there? I see the Best of Paris book sitting in here. How many different books have come together as a part of this initiative globally?
We have over 70 best of books. We've covered Abu Dhabi, Dubai, UAE as a whole, Britain, Paris, South Africa. You have Mozambique, Botswana, Zimbabwe, South Africa. So we have, and then in Latin America, we have Chile, and we're working on Peru and Colombia as well. We have an edition in Colombia.
So after the American book is done, is there another country that's going to be highlighted? Will this carry on, through the years, or is this the last book in the series? Tell me about that.
No, this is a timeless piece, and we do want to. Our belief is that print is not dead when it comes to this kind of business, and we do want to make sure that we hit every city in the U.S. to make sure we complete the puzzle. And United States, it's one of the greatest countries to be in and to showcase, and we're really excited about that opportunity.
Now, will the book also highlight other areas of Florida, or is it strictly going to kind of focus on the Tampa Bay region? The initiative, the umbrella brand Proudly Florida, and it makes me think that there's going to be things about Florida in there as well as a whole. Tell me about how the book is going to be with regard to other areas in Florida.
Tampa, it's the first city that we're touching in the state of Florida. However, we do have a second book in the state already under works, and we do plan on expanding to other cities such as Miami.
Okay, so there'll be separate books for the
Yes.
Miami region, the Panhandle, so to speak.
Yes.
And then what about other states across the United States? Will there be other books for those areas as well?
Yes, we actually have Proudly Colorado and Proudly LA already under works.
Oh, wow. Well, we got to wrap this one up real quick before we head into the break. Best way for people that are interested in getting involved in the book again is how?
Through our global site, globalvillage.world, or through our contact information that should be up on your site, and our direct emails, and you can reach us through there.
All right. And the book's planning to be published when?
February 2016.
February 2016. All right. Well, stay in touch with me. Let me know when that book comes out, and I'll mention it a few times on the radio show. So, and as a follow-up to my guests that have been on the show before. Ashley and Christina, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And again, that was Ashley.novak and Christina.sloan, managing partners with Proudly Florida, part of the global initiative, Global Village. And you can learn more about them and the organization at globalvillage.world. Stay tuned. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking with Kevin Overstreet and Bobby Callahan with Insured Title Agency.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about.
At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Lane, southbound 275. Crash near Fowler has one lane blocked. That is slow from before Fletcher. Southbound Veterans Expressway very slow from Gun Highway to Waters over in Pinellas County. Southbound US 19 slow from Gulf to Bay to Bel Air due to a crash off to the side near Harn. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham, Son and Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the American Association for Cancer Research. The American Association for Cancer Research is the world's first and largest organization dedicated to finding cures through research. Please support cancer research by donating today at www.aacrfoundation.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecasts. We'll see a high today reach the low 90s. Partly sunny skies, rain chance 50% for afternoon storms and showers, and the low tonight into the upper 70s. You're going to see that forecast over the next few days. Impact Radio, 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks again for staying tuned in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, the show and myself, we're always looking for guests, always looking for ideas and material. Please feel free to contact me. Best way to get me through my contact form over at TampaBayRadio.com. Send me a message as to what it is that you're doing and why you'd like to make an appearance on the show. And again, the show's growing leaps and bounds right now, and just getting a lot of viewership and listenership, and just really growing the brand in and around the Tampa Bay community. So get yourself associated with the show. Come on in as a guest. Also looking for partners and sponsors for people who'd like to have a relationship with the show and be in here every week, month, every other month, so to speak, whatever the case may be. Again, always looking for guests and always looking for partners and sponsors for the show. And best way to get me, contact form, TampaBayRadio.com. If you're just tuning in that last segment, we were talking with Ashley.novak and Christina.sloan, managing partners of Proudly Florida, part of the global initiative Global Village, which works to highlight what is right and what is good and what is the best things about each and every region. And they're currently working on the book for the Tampa Bay region, and learn more about them over at globalvillage.world. Time now to bring on my next guest for the show. Kevin Overstreet is the president and owner of Insured Title Agency. Founded in 2006, Insured Title Agency was established to service all counties in Florida and has been built on the principles of providing excellent customer service to their clients and an enjoyable work atmosphere for their team members. He is joined in studio by Bobby Callahan, their Director of Business Development. Kevin, Bobby, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, Jamie.
So, Kevin, let's start off with the path to entrepreneurship. Tell me how you got involved with Title Agency as a business owner.
This is my first time on radio, so go easy on me.
But you got a veteran here. Your Director of Business Development has his own radio show too, so he'll guide you here.
Yeah,
This is a situation where you can tell him what to do now.
Right.
Hey, all right. Can we stay here for a little while?
Hey, there you go. You can tell him what to do.
I've often been told I have the looks for radio. So.
Yeah, so you have a face for radio, yes.
Well, I started in the business in the Midwest in '98 as a salesperson, doing what Bobby does now for me, and really excelled and did great, and ended up being a national salesperson. And traveled the country, visiting different mortgage companies and big real estate firms, and fell in love with Tampa. And I started my own company in 2003 in the Midwest, and it was a very large company, local in the St. Louis market, and ended up expanding to Tampa in 2004, and sold my business in 2005 to move here and start Insured Title Agency. And
were you always in title as a salesman? You were
Yes.
selling title insurance?
Yep. I went from college to bartending to title.
Okay. Yeah. Tell the audience who may not be familiar what is title insurance and what is a title specifically when we're talking about real estate?
When you purchase a home, we're going to do a search on the title, the history of the property, to make sure that the person selling the home to you is able to sell it correctly. And then we're going to ensure your ownership of that property. And if anyone ever comes from the past and says that they have a claim or a right to the property, and if it turns out to be true, you have the insurance policy that we've provided that covers you against that.
Yeah, and I specialize in sale of bank-owned properties. I tell people all the time, make sure that you thoroughly review your title policy. Very good idea also to involve an attorney, in my opinion, if you're using a bank title company.
Especially with bank-owned, for sure.
Yeah, because the banks use their own title companies that basically become title insurance mills, and they just kind of churn them out. And whenever an attorney gets involved, they really work those policies over, and then they fill in all the gaps and the holes.
Claims are higher on the bank-owned policies, right? Or the bank-owned properties, right?
They are. So many foreclosures that have happened, and so many of them have been done incorrectly. And you have a lot of attorneys that have targeted foreclosed properties. Mm-hmm. So I've actually avoided over the last 10 years becoming a REO title company because I didn't want to insure all of those properties because they're more likely to be problematic.
I've had a number of title agents tell me that they avoid the foreclosed properties just because of they're just havens for issues, and they're just kind of getting shortened out right now. So.
They are, yeah. The people that sell the property, they take title with what's called a certificate of title, mm-hmm. and that is an uninsured transfer of property.
It is a foreclosure deed. Yeah, it's how the prior owner transfers title to the bank, so to speak, to the foreclosure proceeding. Go ahead.
But not voluntarily.
Right. Yeah, and it's wrought with legal issues. I always tell people when you're buying a property that is a foreclosure, I mean, yeah, they're attractive. They're usually cheaper than everything else on the neighborhood, but they are wrought with title issues. 30 to 40% of my closings are delayed because of some title issues. Some of them have to be re-foreclosed altogether, meaning you think you have a valid contract, and then you find out that the bank has to re-foreclose because they missed a mortgage or something out there. And so I always tell people, if you're buying a bank-owned property, make sure you don't have to be in it by a certain date, or that you have an alternate plan.
Be patient.
Yeah, I deal with this all the time, but that's a whole other talking point. I want to focus on your company and what you do. Bobby, how are you involved? Director of Business Development. You're out there selling the company, correct?
I'm out there making new relationships with people to do business with us, because that's whether you're buying the property cash or using a mortgage company, you need a title company, mm-hmm. and it's a matter of working with people that you like to work with and you can trust. And this company's been around since 2005. I mean, saw the peak of the bubble and survived the collapse. So anybody that is still in business now that was in business before mm-hmm. the boom, they're doing something right. So I've been personally in the business since '99. Been with Insured Title just for only 3 months, but I come from a mortgage background. And I think that insight kind of helps what I do on the title side of things, because I know what the mortgage brokers deal with.
I saw you were born into a real estate family, right? Dad's a general contractor working on homes. Your mother's a real estate broker. So you got real estate in your blood, right?
Yeah, it's in my blood. I mean, I actually took a break for 4 years to go to school at USF. Thought I was out of the business, but it kind of called me back, so to speak. And I mean, I love it. It just hit the ground running.
Return to school over you. What are you studying over at USF right now?
Environmental science.
Environmental science, very cool. I'm a returning USF student, graduated in 2007, worked in industry for several years and got back into it. And so you're doing a radio show over there too, right? You go give a quick plug for your show.
Pirate Radio Invasion is the longest running show at USF. We also have the highest listenership, which is cool. We're the only hip hop show on the station. So it's Friday nights from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. And also, I'm sorry, we just changed slots from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and also Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
What's the dial?
Bulls Radio. It's on the TuneIn Radio app. Okay. It's on Bulls Radio, so it's It's a radio show on the internet and also on campus at 11:50 a.m. But
very cool. Well, let me come back over to Kevin. A lot of talk in the business right now about the new CFPB regulations coming down, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What that is, and if I remember, that came out of the Dodd-Frank Act of 2010, which is put in basically a lot of regulations on the banking industry as a whole, and it's spilled over into the real estate, title, and REO business as well. Talk to us about some of these changes that are coming up with regard to the CFPB.
Let's go back a little bit and tell you why I think they are needed, and they have been needed. First of all, the vast majority, and I want to say I've known literally hundreds of mortgage originators over my career, and nearly all of them ethical, hardworking, love their clients, take care of everyone. But then there are the other guys, and a couple of stories I'll tell you. When I was in Missouri, the company that I used to work for, a lot of our clients, it was a common practice. So consider a refinance. The client comes in, the borrowers come in, they apply for the mortgage, and the loan officer says, stop making your mortgage payment. We'll have this closed before it's delinquent. No problem. Well, there's a delay, there's another delay, and all of a sudden it's closing day, and they get to the table, my table, and there are thousands of dollars in additional fees that weren't disclosed. And they're mad. Of course, the loan officer isn't there. So they call him, and he says, you have to sign. They say, what do you say? What do you mean? Well, you have to sign because now you're late. And if the next person to run your credit won't give you a loan.
Right.
So they're pigeonholed and forced to sign almost. And so that kind of practice is non-existent today because of the way that the good faith estimate is disclosed up front, as it always was, but now it has to be matched practically at the closing. Another great example, we had a company up there who, of course, will remain nameless, who would go into a dilapidated or bad neighborhood and buy 4 or 5 homes for maybe $20,000 or $30,000 and put a ton of money into them, make them gorgeous, had the appraisers in his back pocket, had a lending company in his back pocket, and then would go to all of the other people in the neighborhood, refinance them, using those 4 as comparable sales because he just sold them for a huge amount of money to someone he was in.
Mortgage fraud is basically what you're describing right there. Yes, go ahead.
So we're clear.
So to eliminate that, what happened in, I believe it was 2009, in May of 2009, the HVCC became a thing. That is the Home Valuation Code of Conduct. And what that did, it completely eliminated the connection between the loan originator and the appraiser. Because it used to be...
the loan officer used to pick the appraiser, and of course they became best friends. And
not only that, but say if you want to get paid or if you want to get paid extra, I need you to hit this value.
Yes.
I need you to be creative.
Right.
So that has gone away, and that I believe that's been a good thing for the consumer. There was certainly an adjustment period where lending was harmed from being able to get loans done because of the advent of the AMC, the appraisal management company.
There are probably loans that shouldn't have gotten done because they couldn't find the value,
Yeah, and I know when I started in real estate in 2007 and 2008, a lot of this was common practice in the Tampa Bay region. Tampa was a haven for real estate and investment fraud or mortgage fraud, and our bank properties were the starting points for a lot of these things. They would buy them from us, and then they would go out there and they would do what they said. I said, they would find some straw buyer to purchase these properties at an inflated value, and they would kick out the money themselves, and then the property would go right back into foreclosure. I myself and people on my team have sold a couple of properties 2 or 3 times because of this. We've sold the same property over and over again. But so these the CFPB rules, they're working to protect against these types of things, correct?
Yeah, the CFPB was, and I'm not a expert on any of this stuff, but I can just tell you how it affects myself and my clients. And they're basically the enforcement arm of the way I look at them is they're the cops that are enforcing the RESPA rules and the Truth in Lending Act rules, because you've had a lot of these rules in place for years, but no one has been...
Yeah, RESPA being the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act that governs how a real estate closing must go down.
Correct.
And that one of the big things is that all fees and anybody who's getting paid in a real estate transaction must be disclosed on the settlement statement, commonly called the HUD. And but now the HUD's going away from us, right? That's changing. We're going to get a whole new settlement statement now.
Yep.
Correct?
Just when everyone learned how to read the HUD, it goes away. So. Yeah, it's going to be called the closing disclosure, and it's going to replace the HUD and the final good faith, and I believe it's a good thing. However, the biggest challenge that's going to occur is, and this will be a huge challenge. You know this, Jamie, because you're in real estate. How many closings do you go to where you're at the table waiting for the final documents or the final numbers even, so the title company can get it ready? Well, this final closing disclosure or the truly final numbers have to be delivered to the client, to the buyer or borrower 3 days prior to closing. So if you look at the lenders who over the last forever have struggled to get them to us in time for the closing.
Yeah, they typically come in an hour before.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And now it's going to be 3 days before. And really the hardest thing about that is going to be when that client gets the 5-page document that they've never seen before. They've gotten it probably via email from their lender. So imagine the scenario. You've got a first-time home buyer, never seen this document, and dealing with Jamie Maloney, the realtor, and a mortgage broker, and their lender emails it to them 3 days prior to the closing, and they don't know how to read it.
They're going to have some questions.
Yeah. I've been reading it for a few months, and I'm still...
No, I'm not closing. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I have an example of it here, but it's radio, so... but it's confusing to them, and then they have to call someone. So they're either going to call the lender who emailed it to them, who most likely doesn't know them at all, or their mortgage broker who hasn't seen the closing disclosure, or their realtor who also hasn't seen it. And that's going to be a very big challenge.
When do these new rules go into effect, or haven't they gone into effect?
They were supposed to go into effect August 1st, but the CFPB delayed it.
Did it get okay?
Yeah, so it's October 3rd. So it's very much a flip of the switch. It is, if you apply for a mortgage prior to midnight, October 3rd, which I think is 46 days and 19 hours.
Not
from
much,
now.
not much time left.
Then it's the HUD. Then it's the old way. And as soon as 12:01 on the 3rd happens, it's going to be the closing disclosure and the whole new process.
Got to take a quick break, but I'm currently talking with Kevin Overstreet and Bobby Callahan with Insured Title Agency about what's going on in the real estate business with regard to title insurance and the new CFPB that's been in place since about 2010, I believe, and how it's affecting the real estate title business specifically. Learn more about Kevin and his company over at insured-title.com, insured-title.com. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 Wins WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage wants you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound Veterans Expressway still very slow from Gun Highway to Waters. Also, northbound 275 still a bit slow off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Once you get past Memorial, though, you're in good shape to downtown Tampa. Westbound I-4 slow from MLK to the Selma Connector due to a crash in the left-hand lane. Southbound 275 still a bit slow from Fletcher to Bush Boulevards where there was a crash near Fowler. See traffic problems? Call the Entry Firm of Abraham Son and New York Hills World Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
Today, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, some of them heavy, a high 91. Tonight, clearing, low 76. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance, high 92.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, you'll find this show on here weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. I currently talk with Kevin Overstreet and Bobby Callahan, both with Insured Title Agency. And Kevin, we're talking in that last segment about the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the new regulations that are coming down that are affecting the title insurance industry specifically. You mentioned October 3rd is the date that when these new regulations are going to into effect, and that are going to affect the title insurance and the closing of a real estate transaction. What advice would you give to consumers out there with regard to this upcoming date?
Apply for a mortgage before October 3rd would be the best advice. And if you're not going to do that, then just be very patient and understand that there's going to be a learning curve between your title company and your lender and your real estate agent and your loan originator. And as far as the realtors and the loan originators, the best advice I can give them is to be ultra involved with your client, and you must be able to help them understand this complex form that they're going to get. And in order to do that, you have to understand it.
Right.
And you may have to be able to understand it while they're reading it to you over the phone, because there's no requirement for that lender to deliver it to you or anyone else in the transaction. So talk to the local experts, get some education. Bobby's got something that we've got.
You said you
up.
have an event coming up. Bobby, talk to the audience about this and what's coming up with regard to getting this information out.
Yeah, we're going to go into it in way more depth from an actual attorney. Victoria Beam from Stewart Title is going to explain it from her standpoint, the actual law, not just winging it or whatever. She's actually going to explain what the law means, how it's going to affect the agents, the real estate agents, and the mortgage brokers, and what they need to do about it. So that's September 3rd at the Hilton Garden Inn at 9 a.m. We'll be serving breakfast, too. So not only are you getting informed, but you're getting fed. Also giving free headshots to anybody that shows up, free professional headshots. So,
cool.
Yeah, and
so
also
it's open to anybody then?
Open to anybody in the real estate business, preferred, because that's who's going to benefit from it, And also, we'll give a free book of 7 Levels of Communication written by Michael Mayer. Everybody who attends gets a free copy of that as well.
Okay, so that's September 3rd at the Hilton
Garden Inn.
Hilton Garden Inn.
Where's the Road? In Odessa.
Odessa, okay.
On Tampa Road.
Okay, and that's at 9 a.m.?
Oh, no. Yes, 9 a.m. And so Victoria Beam will be speaking from Stewart Title. Dave Falk from National Credit Federation talk about credit repair and how people that can't get apply. Maybe they are not approved for a mortgage. They can repair their credit to get approved.
Right.
So maybe they're right there on the line how to get approved for it. Also, Jeff Steckman from Asset Preservation to talk about 1031 exchange and how you can make money selling real estate and maybe avoid save money on tax by taking that same money and moving it to another property, and you don't have to pay income tax.
Okay, and so this regulation hits then October 3rd, then, correct? And your advice, Kevin, apply for a mortgage before October 3rd because then they're basically going to be under the old rules then, correct?
Yes, there's going to be a learning curve like there is with any new legislation once it's implemented. We've known this was coming for a year now, and like anything else, like studying for a test for school or doing an assignment, you do it at the last minute. So everyone is preparing in September for October instead of in January like we should have. So just be patient, understand that it's going to take longer. If you're a real estate agent writing a contract, make the contract date, the contract period a little bit longer, maybe a couple weeks longer, and just expect delays and try not to get too frustrated.
I mean, how different is this from the way we're used to closing real estate transactions from what you're seeing as a title insurer?
From what you're going to see as a realtor or what the consumer will see, the only big difference that I see is that 3-day difference, but that is a very big difference. So basically, the loan has to be finalized 3 days before it's closed. And right now, when we explain a settlement statement or a HUD to a client, we're sitting at the table. It's a closer who's done hundreds or thousands of these, and he or she knows exactly how to explain everything, and that's just not going to exist in the new rules.
Right. Well, great tip right there. So people out there that are looking to buy a home, apply for a mortgage before October 3rd, and your transaction will probably go a little bit smoother, or I should say a lot smoother than under the new regulations that are going to kick in on October 3rd. Got about a minute and a half or 2 minutes left. Real quick, Kevin, tell us how to use your title company as a resource.
Sure. Not just mine, but any local title company. A lot of people think they view the title company as the place they go at the end of the transaction, and it's a pain. They have to go across town or across the street or whatever to close the deal, and then they're done. You should be reaching out to your title company in the beginning. If you want a referral to the right realtor or to the right loan originator, the internet isn't the place to find them. Asking your neighbor or your brother-in-law is not the place to find them. Ask your local title company. We work with literally hundreds of realtors every year, and we know the very best, the very worst, and everyone in between. And the same with the loan originators. I have a few people a month call me and explain their scenario to me. This is what I'm trying to do with my home, and I can refer them to the right person, or if they don't need a person, we can walk them through it ourselves. So, and then after the fact, when you move into your home and it needs help, it needs things, call your title company, because we know the local people in the area that are best at fixing your pool or your lanai or your roof or anything like that.
We've got a guy.
You got a guy. You got a guy for everything.
Whatever
they're
it is,
like a true Italian over there. So you got a guy. We got a guy. So, locations across the state of Florida?
Nope,
or
we have one location, West Chase.
West Chase, okay.
On Linebaugh Avenue.
Okay.
That's by design. I like to stay small and in control of everything. That's why we're still in business after 10 years without having to sell or merge or anything like that.
Okay.
We're a family business. My sister runs the place. I'm the boss, but she runs the place. Our mom works there, and Bobby's my guy on the streets, and we've got a great team of closers.
All right, sounds good.
And real quick, to register for the event September 3rd, go to itaevent.com. That's itaevent.com.
All right, and we'll put that up on the show recap as well. Bobby Callahan and Kevin Overstreet, greatly appreciate you stopping in and talking to me this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Jamie.
Absolutely. And again, that was Kevin Overstreet and Bobby Callahan with Insured Title Agency. Learn more about them at insured-title.com. Well, it's back to work on this early Monday morning. I'll catch y'all back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.